Okay, we are back for day 2 of the Long McQuade NAMM Report. We have a ton of stuff to cover today, and we are going to dive right into it, wasting no time. Let's dive right into this model. This is the limited edition 50th anniversary model, celebrating 5 decades of the Stingray legacy. Roasted figured maple neck for balance, comfort, and attack. Ebony fretboard with gold face dot inlays and glow-in-the-dark side markers. I absolutely love that feature. Gold hardware throughout, including exclusive 50th anniversary stamped bridge. And this ships with a deluxe hardshell case and certificate of authenticity. 2 colors, liquid gold, limited to 50 worldwide, vault exclusive, and molten gold, limited to 300 worldwide. So yeah, these basses are extremely tight on production, and you're going to want to check out these finishes. They look absolutely crazy. Continuing on with the basses here, we've got the Ernie Ball Music Man Dark Ray 2 active bass. Top 5 specs here: integrated distortion plus octave up-down effects built in directly into the bass. That's a pretty insane feature right there. Master volume, bass and treble EQ, distortion control with dual voicing, octave control with push selection for octave up or down, LED illuminated control rings with color-coded mode indicator, 3-way selector for core tone, octave only or octave plus distortion. The available colors are black, Showtime, Spectralite, and Mean Green Burst. Pretty killer. Now we've got the Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray Special Bass. Top 5 specs: iconic Stingray design with active electronics and Music Man humbucker. Available in 4-string or 5-string configurations. Choice of single H or dual HH pickup layouts. I love that. Classic oval pickguard with 3+1 tuning key configurations, and road-ready construction with unmistakable Stingray tone colors.
Clearly, Ernie Ball is going big with the 50th anniversary. Yeah. You know, that gold, that limited gold, it's wild. It might be too gaudy for me, but you know what? It's something that they're really it's gonna stand out. It's flashy.
Absolutely.
This is what they're going.
Go big or go home. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. That's what they're going with that with those models, and they're very limited. So that's a striking bass. In terms of the Dark Ray too, this is a really interesting bass because it partners with Dark Glass Electronics.
That's what I was going to ask about, because there's like all kinds of crazy stuff. There's octave, there's distortion.
Yeah, it's feature rich. And one thing that's really cool is like if you want to control gain and distortion right from the bass, that's something that's really cool. And it's almost like the bass is like a fuzz pedal or a distortion pedal combined, and it's a real tech kind of bass that I think a lot of like aggressive players are going to really love.
Right. Yeah. And going back to the 50th anniversary, you know, limited vault edition with only 50 made with the dipped gold, I wouldn't want to get fingerprints on it. That already gave me anxiety right out of the gate. But anyway, the thing would look pretty darn cool.
It's crazy.
Okay, that covers it for the Ernie Ball Music Man basses. Absolute killer lineup coming up here. Yeah. Let's get into Ernie Ball guitars, starting with the John Petrucci Majesty Premium Select. Mahogany neck-through body with alder wings and thick maple top. 24 fret ebony fingerboard with stainless steel frets and glow side dots. Again, love that feature. DiMarzio, Rainmaker, and Dreamcatcher humbuckers. And those are specific to John Petrucci's design. And if you know Dream Theater and his solo music, it's just off the chart tone, and you know his sound. Piezo-equipped Music Man floating tremolo with stereo/mono outputs, and onboard 20+ dB gain boost for solo or lead enhancements.
Dream Theater fans and John Petrucci fans know that John Petrucci is very particular, and the Majesty Premium Select it's really built to his preferences, his personal preferences. These guitars are really, really slick, and they're, they got a really nice kind of smaller type body, and a lot of the extra features like the glowing side dots or whatever. And the tone, of course, is going to be unbelievable. The playability is going to be unbelievable, and you just get more of a premium selection. You get more options coming out of NAMM.
Okay, now looking at the Jason Richardson Cutlass HT 8-string guitar shredder bonanza. Here we go. This is a multi-scale 25.5 inch to 27 inch design for clarity and tension across extended range. For those of you who don't know what multi-scale is, it looks like fan frets. Pretty cool. Alder body with Buckeye burl top. Absolute killer feature and detail here. Roasted figured maple neck. We've got ebony fretboard with 24 stainless steel frets. Jason Richardson HT humbuckers with high output and articulation. Chunk and tone for days. Hardtail bridge with 20 plus dB boost and coil splitting via push-push controls. Those features I absolutely love. These push-push coil splitting, which is kind of like a lot of companies are coming out with these, and I think it's a super great feature. Available colors, we have Water Temple, Death Mountain, and Kokiri Forest.
So first of all, I love the Ocarina of Time reference, man. Legend of Zelda. We know the kinds of video games Jason Richardson plays.
Absolutely.
I love it. The geek in me loves it.
Yeah.
And in terms of the actual guitar, this thing's a gent machine. 8 strings, gonna love it. You're gonna get the balls to the wall tone with a Legend of Zelda flavor to it. So that's all I got to say about that. I love that.
And there's just something about the aesthetic of a multi-scale guitar. It just looks badass.
It's crazy.
And techie and killer. So so there you have it. That's the Jason Richardson Cutlass HT 8-string guitar. You're gonna absolutely love it. Now, diving into the Axis guitar. This is the Ernie Ball Music Man 30th Anniversary Axis Guitar, limited edition celebration of the Axis original 1996 design. Hand-stained quilt maple tops with lightly sparkled black backs. I love that two-tone kind of look to these guitars. We got figured maple neck with asymmetrical carve and stainless steel frets. Custom wound DiMarzio pickups for classic Axis tone and response. Includes certificate of authenticity and deluxe Music Man hardshell case. And for finishes, we have translucent gold, black, pink, red, blue, purple, full-blown jelly bean line of colors. So what do you think?
I think it's a really cool offering from Ernie Ball with their 30th anniversary of the guitar. Clearly with these anniversaries, they're expanding their color options, expanding their finish options, and giving a kind of a bold offering to players.
No, they're just going to town with these finishes. I love it. You want gold flake, you want molten lava, you want whatever you want. They got it going on. Okay, now we're diving in to the Sterling line of guitars. So this is the Cutlass Plus HSS guitar in cashmere. This is a poplar body in cashmere finish, roasted maple with rosewood fingerboard, 22 medium jumbo frets, modern HSS configuration with 5-way selector and push-push mid-boost. Love that feature. Vintage tremolo, so vintage tremolo bridge, locking tuners, and dual action truss rod. Can't go wrong. I love these Sterling guitars by Ernie Ball Music Man. They're an affordable line, and let me tell you, they are built absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the quality is really good. It's not a entry level or low level or by any means.
Certainly doesn't feel that way or sound that way. No, not at all.
But it's just something that is a little bit more affordable than those high-end lines.
Okay, now we're rolling into Ashdown bass products. This is the UK OBM 300 compact bass head. Now, looking at the design of this looks like something that has a control panel from the 60s. It's very, very cool, sleek, and I love this color with the ice blue finish, something I would absolutely have in my studio. So this is a 300 watt auto voltage, 115 to 230 volt. We have 5-band EQ with pre-shape function for sculpted low end and clarity. We have a 2-speaker output with DI output, FX loop, high and low instrument and line inputs. And this is a lightweight 2 kilogram UK made steel chassis head. It's absolutely beautiful and packs a lot of punch. Okay, now Ashdown is also releasing a combo amp, and this is the UK OBM C112 to 300 1x12 bass combo. This is a 300 watt output, and the auto voltage is 115 to 230 volts. This has a 112 speaker and has a horn for balanced bass response, 5-band EQ with shape function for instant sculpted tone, and DI output, FX loop, high-low instrument and line inputs with headphone output. And again, this has a lightweight build, 14 kilograms, compact enclosure with charcoal tweed finish and silver weave grille. Other products that Ashdown is releasing is the UK PBM 200 micro bass head, and we also have the 110 bass combo and the 210 bass combo. Lots of products here from Ashdown. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Ashdown is good because it's really powerful, kind of compact, UK style bass tone. The design of the combo, it's kind of a love it or hate it thing, I think, but it's really unique. It's kind of interesting, and you're really going to be able to get a really powerful, versatile tone out of these amps.
Now we're diving into Walrus Effects, and for those of you who don't know, Walrus Effects specializes in high-end guitar effects. So we have the Mantle Bass Preamp DI. This thing is an absolute animal. We saw some demo videos on it, and it sounds pristine. So we got a few specs here. High impedance JFET input buffer with transformer-based gain up to 18 dB. Custom bass and treble EQ. We've got transformer balanced XLR output and rich low end. And it also has active passive pad and ground lift. Okay, and we also have the Walrus Audio Canvas volume pedal. This is a fully analog signal path with digitally controlled precision and contactless position sensor. We have customizable volume taper up to 8 positions. So that is cool because it's like a digitally controlled taper. If you stomp the pedal, but you have your preset, it will actually like nice and slowly bring your volume up or down. Customizable, again, up to 8 options. Flexible routing, dual inputs and outputs for mono or stereo setups. And this has a rugged aluminum chassis build, so this thing is road ready. What do you think?
So the thing about Walrus Audio that is really, really notable is that, you know, it doesn't always have to be about an insane amount of features, but every component in a Walrus Audio pedal is like premium quality. They don't skimp on any aspect. The input transformers, the circuitry, it's all really high grade. So the signal chain is impeccable from top to bottom. Right. The bass preamp and DI, it's got that same philosophy, and there are some really cool features in this volume pedal, as you said. So that's a really interesting thing there. Definitely worth the price if you're really going for the top of the line in terms and skimping no quality. And
with this Mantle Bass preamp DI, it's giving you kind of that vintage preamp tone, so you can actually juice the gain and get a bit of overdrive out of it. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous sounding cleans out of this, and yeah, great stuff. Now we're getting into Vox hand-wired amps and pedals. So Neil, they're coming out with more affordable hand-wired options for the customers, which I think is really cool because the printed circuits came out for really, you know, more of the entry-level buyer for Vox. Yeah. But now they're rolling back that hand-wired stuff that, you know, is legendary for Vox and won't break the bank. So I'm loving these options. They got the AC15 hand-wired combo greenback edition. So this is a 112 Celestion greenback, custom wound output transformer, warmer mid-focus classic AC voicing, which we kind of all know and love. And you know, there's that ongoing question, like, will I hear the difference between a printed circuit and hand-wired? Honestly, I think you would have to have, you know, some pretty developed ears and really know the brand to hear the difference. But really, for the ultimate collector, they'll only buy the hand-wired stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we also have the AC30 hand-wired combo greenback edition. So they also have hand-wired cabs. So you can just buy the head, you can buy the combo. They got all kinds of new stuff coming out. And they also are diving into some reissues of vintage pedals, which I think is cool. So we got the VFZ1 Fuzz. So this is a vintage style pedal, crunch switch for lower gain drive tones, bass cut and tone cut controls. And we also have the VTB1 treble booster. What's a treble booster? Well, it's something you're gonna slam to jump into your leads. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna add more punch. Also has a fat switch for wider frequency boost. So it's not necessarily a distortion pedal, but it's just gonna jump you up tone-wise to hit those leads if you've already kind of got your tone set, if you know what I'm saying. Very cool. Again, this is a reissue from the 60s from one of their older pedals, and I think it's a great thing that they're doing.
Yeah. So it was really interesting from Vox to see that they're really kind of introducing a new kind of component to the hand-wired series.
Absolutely.
You know, we know that there's this whole debate between hand-wired and the printed circuit boards. You know the hand-wireds are going to have a way more premium kind of design, but it's this being offered in a kind of a more affordable line. It's kind of an interesting new consideration for Vox lovers to debate over and to try out. So I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah.
In terms of the pedals, that fuzz pedal is really interesting to me because I know in the world of fuzz pedals, there's often circuits that are really, really highly sought after. This one's that late 60s vintage fuzz.
Absolutely. All analog.
Yeah, all analog, and it's something that is really kind of desired. A lot of fuzz. It could be like fine wines, sampling a good vintage fuzz, where you have like germanium or transistors.
Yeah.
So this one, it will be really interesting to see that late '60s circuit from Vox, and it's coming back, and they're really doing a good job trying to get that out there.
As far as the point-to-point wiring on these Vox amps, I cannot wait to hear these things in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just ultra clean, smooth tones, and nice punchy gains with those, right?
Absolutely. That singing tone sometimes.
Absolutely.
The Brian May effect.
100%.
I love that tone.
Yeah. Okay, now we're looking at Korg products, starting with this really bizarre acoustic.
This thing's crazy, man. This thing's crazy.
Acoustic synthesizer. Never seen one of these before. I own a few synths of my own, and this thing is really out there. What is an acoustic synthesizer, you may ask? Well, it's a marriage between obviously electronic and acoustic. Now, the acoustic portion of this, essentially it's 8-touch electroacoustic voices combined with synth power. You can pluck, strum, sequence, and shape your sounds like nothing else. So these have these like metal sticks, if you would, that have got magnets under them. So you push and pull them, twist them, and they really start making some bizarre sounds. And then there's also a bunch of keypad buttons. So yeah, this thing is as unique as it gets, really. So talking about the specs here, 8 independent electroacoustic voices and replaceable tunable steel resonators. That's what I meant by the steel post, the steel resonators. Built-in sequencer with step and live modes, save up to 8 sequences. 3 modulation effects, including tremolo, and 2 audio rate pitch-dependent types. We got physical interaction, pluck, strum, tap, and objects to shape acoustic response. And the connectivity is MIDI, TRS, USB, CV sync in and out, headphone output, and 12-volt power. You'll have a lot of fun with this.
I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on this synthesizer,
No.
okay? But clearly this is a very unique option, and Korg has always been a little bit experimental sometimes.
Yeah.
So the people who are going to dive into it, I can't wait to see what kind of innovative sounds that they're going to make with this kind of stuff.
I would love to play around with this thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's really unique, and it's just going to enhance everyone's creativity, whoever gets it.
Now we're diving into Korg audio interfaces. We have two pieces we're talking about here, and starting with the Micro Audio 722 hybrid audio interface with analog filter. It's not quite an EQ, it's a high pass, low pass filter, and it is more kind of like tone shaping, right? So top 5 specs here. This is a 2-channel audio interface with mic line high Z inputs and assignable noise gate and compression. This has integrated analog mini Korg 700S filter for expressive tone shaping, 24-bit over 192 kilohertz high resolution audio support, 0 latency direct monitoring and stereo link function for paired sources, and this is USB-C. This is USB-C connectivity with loopback mode for streaming, desktop, and mobile use. These things are really tiny, and right on its heels, there's the Micro Audio 22 compact desktop audio interface. This thing is just plug and play. You don't have the tone shaping. And yeah, some great offerings from Korg.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting from Korg. They're really getting into the audio interface game. And it's really interesting to see that they incorporate their iconic thing that they do, similar to how Universal Audio, when they released the UA Volt, they put the iconic
610.
They put the iconic
76. Yeah.
Yeah, they put the iconic compressors right into the pedals, so it's like, okay, this is their thing. Mm-hmm. So what Korg's thing is that they've got that mini Korg 700S analog filter. So you're going to be able to do that right from the interface. If that kind of tone shaping appeals to you, it's a really small unit, a really kind of affordable. And you get that little extra value when you go with that kind of Korg unit.
Yeah, you get that extra voicing for your preamp, and I think it's really, really cool.
Or if you just want something really affordable, you have this really small, the Micro Audio 22.
We are getting into guitar effects. Strap in. There's some crazy stuff going on here. Starting with Neural DSP. You know all about it, and now we are getting into the Neural DSP Quad Cortex Mini. So, you guys know all about the original Quad Cortex that was released in 2020. Kind of a big, robust piece. Well, now we've shrunk this down to the Mini. Let's look at the top 5 specs here. This is a full Quad Cortex processing with 50% smaller form factor, and we got 7-inch touchscreen with 4-corner rotary foot switches for flexible control. Supports neural capture V1 and V2, 90 plus amps, 100 effects, 1000 IRs, and 2000 captures. Presets, scene, stomp, and hybrid playing modes with Cortex Cloud amp integration. USB, MIDI TRS, CV, sync in and out, headphone output, and 12-volt power. This, like I said, this is a touchscreen unit. This is as advanced as it gets, and I would love to mess around with this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Neural DSP Quad-Core Cortex was a really, really big hit. Like, this is really, really advanced modeling. You control everything from the signal chain, and you could just really dive into it. And all the sounds are really, really high quality. So what they're really trying to do with this release, it seems like, is just take that and just make it smaller, make it more compact, and it's really, really kind of streamlined. But you're not losing any of the quality. You're just getting a smaller form factor. It's kind of really interesting.
Okay, now continuing on with guitar effects, we are looking at the Electro Harmonics Effects interface. So this is an all-in-one piece. This bridges DAW software and physical pedals, letting you integrate effects with USB-C connection. Let's hit the top 5 specs. 3 operating modes: hardware plugin, pedal board, and audio interface. 2-in, 2-out USB-C audio interface with stereo inputs and outputs. Dedicated level control sliders and headphone output with volume control. Works with DAWs to route tracks through pedals or plugins seamlessly. So this is a very robust all-in-one effects interface. You're going to love it. Okay, now getting into some Yorkville products, and as you know, that is kind of a family business that we have with Long McQuade. We're right next door with HQs. And yeah, let's touch on what we've got going on for NAMM. We have the brand new additions for January 2026, the next gen elite powered speakers, the EL15P, EL12M, EL18S and the EL21S. We have the new battery-powered mixer, the BPM12. This thing is a pretty cool unit, very robust, fully featured mixer, but battery-powered. I use these EXM mobiles all the time that have got battery-powered. These things go for like 7 hours. Next Gen Pro Series from ART. We have the Pro MPA3 and the Pro VLA3. Personally, I own the Pro MPA2, have owned it for years, absolutely love it. So I'm sure these upgrades are killer. Now, also featured in their first major trade show, we've got the Paraline Compact Line Array Pro level PA speakers and accessories. We have the YXL Tower 10 and the YXL Tower 12. And we also have the EXM Pro Series. Now, touching on a few specs with the stage monitors, the EL12M powered stage monitor. This has a 12-inch coax woofer, 2.5-inch voice coil with 1-inch HF driver. We have on the I/O, we have one XLR TRS input with 2 XLR outputs, and this is a birch plywood enclosure. That covers it for the Yorkville releases. These things are absolutely great. Keep in mind, we're going to be touching on the ART pieces in Pro Audio coming right up. Pro Audio, let's start with the Pro MPA3 multi-voice tube preamp. We've got the discrete Class A FET mic preamp with selectable 12AX7A tube and solid state voicing, variable microphone impedance. We have frequency response options. We also have maximum gain 70 dB, maximum output level plus 27 dBu, and this features low cut filter, character switch for vocal intelligibility, and phase invert at 48 volt phantom power. And also for the ART, we have the VLA3 multi-voice tube opto compressor. This is a 2-channel optical compressor with independent or linked stereo operation, switchable 12 AT7 tube or clean solid state voicing, variable threshold ratio, attack, release, and output controls, I/O and gain reduction metering for precise monitoring. Now we're getting into Cranborne audio. So this is the Brick Lane MC4 4-channel modal PWM dynamic processor. It's 4-channel modal processor with 6 harmonic saturation styles per channel. We got velvet, float, smash, tame, glue, polish. We have flexible operation with mono, stereo, mid-side series, dual band, and de-esser modes. Advanced sidechain routing, 4 external sidechain inputs, internal sidechain selection per channel, full digital controls, USB Ethernet network integration, DAW plug-in control, preset save load, professional analog specs at plus 26.5 dBu max output. This piece is super robust and set up for the pro audio enthusiast. We've got the SSL UMD 192 high capacity digital audio interface. This is a Dante interface and definitely suited for the pro user. We're diving into the Avantone Pro CLA 10-inch sub. So this is the 300 watt sub, and yeah, absolutely killer addition to your studio. What do you think of the releases for Pro Audio?
So it's really interesting to see some new offerings from Yorkville coming out. Gig-ready stuff, right? Yeah. You got a wedge, you've got a battery-powered mixer. These are offerings that are going to be really useful towards anyone who's wanting to have more versatile options in terms of speakers. Whether it's a wedge thing or it's different sizes. Always great to see Yorkville with rounding out these product lines.
And always coming out with new stuff from like the big venue line of pro speakers and wedges to kind of like the small venue stuff, or rehearsal size speakers. They got everything for everybody, which is what I love about Yorkville.
Absolutely. So it's really cool to see some mid-range options, affordable options from ART when it comes to rack-mounted effects units. So it's really going to make sure you can enhance your home studio without really breaking the bank. Now, on the other hand, if you really want to shell out for the highest end kind of stuff, these offerings from manufacturers such as Cranborne Audio, and for the highest end, this SSL Dante unit, this could really be a game changer. Now, this is really pro level stuff. You're talking somebody who has a really full featured unit with a ton of connection options, big venues. This is not really for the prosumer or anything. It's a really interesting pro level option.
Absolutely, and it's tiny. It's like this big.
And it's tiny, which is
Dante
crazy.
connectivity for your rig, for your studio, whatever.
Something really innovative, a new type of connection. We'll see if it takes off.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Last but not least, we are touching on microphones. Let's get into it. Starting with Stephen Slate Audio, ML2A modeling mics. You guys have heard about it. You know what modeling mics are all about. All kinds of companies have done it. Stephen Slate Audio is now in the mix, and here are some specs. We got factory matched pair of small diaphragm cardioid condensers, pencil mics, absolutely killer, powered by Stephen Slate Digital Virtual Microphone System, VMS, with 27 mic models expandable via updates. I absolutely love this because I played around with the UA modeling, the hemispheres. Such a killer tech. Ultra low self noise, 16 dB flat, extended frequency response. We've got stereo mounting bar for 3-month complete access bundle for the full software plugins. Absolutely killer. I would dive into that like yesterday. And if you know anything about the Stephen Slate drums, that's available for your DAW via MIDI. The drum sounds are absolutely killer, so I'm sure this is going to be great. Now, talking about Shure microphones and Shure kind of stepping up their game in the condenser mic space, something that, we're not really used to. We know that they make killer dynamic mics, the 58, the 57, the SM7B. Now they're releasing some really nice condenser mics. So we've got the KSM32C, the KSM40C, and the KSM44MP. So this is the KSM series of Shure mics. So we've got 3 versatile studio condenser mics with exceptional clarity, low noise, and multi-pattern flexibility for vocals, instruments, and stereo recording applications. Looking forward to checking these out for sure. General features, we got large and mid diaphragm condenser options at 3/4 inch and 1 inch. We got cardioid and multi-pattern. Now we're diving into the AKG C series of condenser mics. So AKG has 3 brand new mics, very cool. We've got the AKG C104 large diaphragm cardioid condenser. We've got the AKG C151 small diaphragm cardioid condenser, and we have the AKG C114 large diaphragm multi-pattern condenser mic. Looking forward to checking these out. These are coming in for an affordable line of AKG mics. So that was the AKG C series of condenser mics. Looking forward to checking these out. Last but not least, we have the reissue of the Neumann M50V omnidirectional tube microphone set. So this comes with the condenser mic, comes with the shock mount, and comes with the power supply, and looks as vintage as ever. These things are absolutely gorgeous and sound even better. So this is the ultimate orchestral and immersive recording mic, now faithfully reissued with modern refinements. Looking at a couple of specs here, omnidirectional polar pattern, increasingly directional above 1 kilohertz, handmade shock mount with decoupling and cable holder for minimal handling noise. This package is absolutely sweet, and I'm a total mic nerd. There's not enough mics to go around in my studio. I don't think there ever is. But very exciting stuff, especially from Shure. I would love to hear what their condenser mics sound like.
So the new microphone offerings across different manufacturers are really interesting. You have modeling with Stephen Slate. I mean, we know that's the Stephen Slate model, just emulating some of the best microphones that are out there. I also thought it was really interesting in terms of Shure, that KSM series. As you mentioned, they're really known for their dynamic mics. The SM7B, is a really kind of iconic one. So they're really offering a kind of a professional kind of high quality level of the KSM series. KSM series has existed before, but they're really trying to round out that line so that that they're not just it's not just Shure's focused on the dynamics and they have condensers. It's their condensers, dynamic
and
microphones.
They're stepping into the space proper to get some really affordable, high-end condenser mics. Something I would definitely like to try out as a drum producer. I'm always trying out different, condensers, vocals, that kind of thing.
You could have a Shure microphone for kind of like any application.
Of course.
And now the AKG series, C series, this one's really interesting because it's kind of a affordable option of well-established microphones. And it's really kind of geared, I can see this one being great for like podcasters,
100%.
Home recording, that kind of thing. Something that you could just really get into, really stepping up your audio game.
Large, medium, and small diaphragm.
Exactly.
You got them all, so yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So the Neumann M50V, Neumann enthusiasts know that this mic was released in 1951 and it's been a staple in recording some of the highest quality records, orchestras, band. It's really, really iconic when it comes to that.
And I love how they're bringing out the point-to-point reissue with a few more upgraded specs. Absolutely killer. Would love to hear it in the studio and A/B it at some point.
Can't say it's affordable, but but it is the cream of the crop.
Yeah. That does it for us, and thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe at our channel. It really helps out our content. We can keep bringing you guys content like this. And click the links in the description below for links to the products we covered today. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.